Hello students, I hope you are all keeping well. Welcome back once again. In this class, we will be studying about two more type of the cellular adaptation. Three more type of the cellular adaptation. We already studied about atrophy. We studied about hypertrophy. Next, we'll go with the hyperplasia. As we discussed earlier, hypertrophy and hyperplasia occurs together. So that means increasing the size of the cell and number of the cells will be occurring together, and the size of the organ can increase. Okay, next one is here in a hyperplasia, increase in the number of cells that eventually causes the increase in the volume of the organ and the tissues. So in many instances, hyperplasia and hypertrophy can occur together, that is simultaneously. Hyperplasia mainly happens due to the influence of external stimuli and in those organs that undergo continuous cell divisions. And some of the labile cells, such as epithelial cells of the skin and mucous membrane, and stable cells such as parenchymal cells of the kidney undergo hyperplasia. So parenchymal cell of the kidney and the epithelial cells of the skin and mucous membrane can undergo the hyperplasia, that can undergo the continuous cell division. But some of the permanent cells, such as the cardiac cells and that is the myocardial fibers, and also the skeletal muscle fibers, that is skeletal muscle cells, cannot undergo the proliferation, as I told you previously. And next, physiological hyperplasia. So they are of two types. Once again, hormonal hyperplasia, that is mainly due to the action of hormone. There is an increase in number of cells, mainly increase in number of cells in mammary gland due to the cells of the mammary gland during the pregnancy and lactation, due to the action of the prolactin and estrogen. We discussed that earlier. Next is compensatory. I told you, if one organ is damaged, the another organ takes up the workload. So this is called as the compensatory. Example is the kidneys and adrenal gland, same as before. Next one is pathological hyperplasia. Hyperplasia occurring due to the abnormal hormone response, like excessive hormone secretion, or due to the chronic inflammatory responses, is called as pathological hyperplasia. That means if there is an increase in hormonal secretion, or it may be due to the chronic inflammation, that causes mainly the pathological hyperplasia. So next one is wound healing. Stimulation of the growth hormone, growth factors, mainly the example we didn't discuss, benign prostatic hyperplasia. So benign prostatic hyperplasia. Next, hyperplasia of the prostate gland due to the excess release of androgen, and also seen in elderly males. Okay, mainly the hyperplasia of the prostate gland, mainly seen in the elderly males, that is in the old age patients. Next one is wound healing. Stimulation of the growth factor, during the wound healing, important role in the granulomatous tissue formation. That means in the next chapter you will understand what is a granulomatous tissue. There is a formation of a granuloma, inflammatory cells, then eosinophils. Everything will surround the cell, injured cell, or the cell that has undergone the death. So that will be studying later. Later, the continuous division of fibroblast and endothelial cells occur. Then due to the fibroblast, there is a formation of the scars. You know what is a scar. Then endothelial cells increases in the cells, even the blood flow to that region will increase. Okay, if there is a damaged region in your body, it gets the wound will get healed up by the formation of a scar, that is fibroblast, then endothelial cells. Okay, later on there is an addition of the endothelial cells. Next one is metaplasia. So already we discussed about hyperplasia. Next we'll go with the metaplasia. It is defined as the reversible changes in the cell in which one mature type of the epithelial or mesenchymal cell changes to another type, that is other, under the exposure to the stimuli, that is injurious stimuli. So one mature cell, that is epithelial cell or a mesenchymal cell, changes to another. So that means there is a reversible changes of one cell form to the another. Hyperplasia means increase in number of cell, increase in the number of cells. Hypertrophy means increase in the size of the cell. Atrophy means decrease in the size of the cell. Next one is metaplasia. That means one cell will change its form to the another. So the epithelial cells, one of the epithelial cells can change to the other epithelial cell. One mesenchymal cell can change to the other mesenchymal cell under the exposure of the injurious stimuli. In this type of the adaptation, a normal cell get replaced with a certain cell that has the capacity to take up more stress. Okay, more stress it can take. So one cell form can be changed to the another. Next one, since the process is reversible, the cells that has been replaced is with another cell can be removed. It can be replaced. That means it can be reversed once the injurious stimuli is removed. But if the metaplasia continues for a longer time, that means it can lead to the malignant. It is permanent and there is a irreversible cell injury, and there is a higher chances of getting the malignancy. Types: one is epithelial metaplasia, then squamous metaplasia. Epithelial metaplasia means one, it is the most common. We'll go with the first one. There are two types we have discussed about, that is epithelial and mesenchymal. My mistake, my bad, sorry. So epithelial metaplasia are classified into squamous metaplasia and columnar metaplasia. Squamous means one epithelial cell get replaced with the squamous epithelium. So in epithelial metaplasia, one epithelial tissue will be replaced with another type of epithelial tissue. So such kind of a metaplasia we are calling it as the epithelial metaplasia, whereas the first one is squamous. Here one kind of epithelial cells are replaced with the squamous epithelium. So this happens under the influence of chronic inflammation or chronic irritation. Mainly the bronchi, the walls of the bronchi which contains the epithelial tissue, here gets replaced with the another type of epithelial tissue. So here one type of epithelial tissue get replaced with the another. That means normal epithelial tissue gets replaced with the, suppose if it's columnar epithelium and pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium which are present over the walls of the bronchi, gets replaced with squamous epithelium, that is stratified squamous epithelium in case of the smokers. So in case of chronic smokers, suppose if the person is chain smoker, daily if he is smoking, means what will happen is the walls of the bronchi gets the epithelial cells which are present in the bronchi gets replaced with the another kind of epithelial tissue. That means it's squamous epithelium. So pseudo-stratified or the columnar epithelium which are present in the wall of the bronchi gets replaced with the squamous epithelium in case of the chain smokers, and thereby it will obstruct the airway. So squamous epithelium in the sense it is stratified squamous. Stratified in the sense it has multiple layer, and if there is a multiple layer it obstructs the airflow, and thereby there is a breathing problem as well. Next, next one is columnar metaplasia. Here the epithelial cells get replaced with the columnar in case of gastric ulcer. So epithelial, if gastric ulcer is getting healed up, so here one epithelial cells, it may be cuboidal epithelium, will be replaced with the columnar epithelium. Next one is the mesenchymal mesenchymal metaplasia. Here the epithelial cells gets replaced with the columnar epithelium. That is, then so mesenchymal metaplasia is less common than the epithelial metaplasia. Here one mesenchymal cells gets replaced with the other. So one kind of a mesenchymal cells gets replaced with the other. So in the previous one, that is epithelial metaplasia, we studied one cell gets replaced with the other. One cell gets replaced with the other, that is epithelial cells. But here in case of the mesenchymal metaplasia, here one cell gets replaced with the mesenchymal cells gets replaced with the other mesenchymal cells. Okay, one mesenchymal cells get replaced with the other, and it is less common. Mainly osseous metaplasia. Here the mesenchymal cells like fibrous tissue, cartilaginous tissue and myxoid tissue gets replaced with the bony tissues. So osseous means bony. Here some of the cartilaginous tissues, myxoid tissues and fibroblast tissues, that means fibrous tissues, get replaced with the bony tissues. Mainly the cartilage of larynx, bronchi are replaced with the bony tissues in adults. Whereas in other cases, cartilaginous metaplasia, suppose if you are taking about the example of a fracture, if there is a healing in the fracture gets here, the healed region gets replaced with the cartilaginous tissue, then the cartilaginous tissue later on it will form the osseous tissue, that is a bone. So these are the example. So what is a metaplasia? One cell gets replaced to the another form, that is it may be epithelial tissue forming other kind of epithelial tissue, or the mesenchymal tissue from one form will be transformed to the another form. So this kind of adaptation we are calling it as metaplasia. Last and the final one, that is a dysplasia. Dysplasia means dearrangement of the cells. That means disorderly arrangement of the cells occurring with metaplasia and hyperplasia. Hyperplasia means there is increase in the cells. You can see it here, increase in number of cells, and the cells are not properly arranged. They are arranged in unknown way. That means it is not properly arranged. Next, there is a metaplasia also. Here you can see one kind of a cell. Here you can see other form of cell. So this kind of a disorderly growth of a cell is called as dysplasia. They are limited to only epithelial cells and mainly affects the uterine cervix and bronchial mucosa. So uterine cervix and bronchial mucosa it will be affecting, and it is mainly affected due to the prolonged inflammation and chronic irritation. If the inflammation and irritation prolongs for a longer time, so this process is reversible. So if the chronic inflammation and irritation which prolongs for a longer time, that causes a type of a cellular adaptation where there is a disorderly arrangement of the cell. The cell won't be arranged in a proper way. There is a hyperplasia along with the metaplasia can be seen. So such kind of dearranged cells we are calling it as the cells will adapt to the condition by arranging itself to the disorderly way, not a proper way, or disorder growth you can find along with the metaplasia and hyperplasia. We are calling it as dysplasia, mainly affecting the uterine cervix and the bronchial mucosa. So the process can be reversible. If the injurious stimulus is taken at the early stages. If it is not taken at the early stages, it can turn into a malignant cancer. Next, it is mainly happening in response to the chronic irritation and also due to the inflammation. So inflammation and chronic irritation can lead to this condition. So what are the cytological changes in the dysplasia is increased layer of epithelial cells. So this is one layer. Here this layer, here the cells has been undergoing the dysplasia. Multiple layer you can find. Dearranged cells from the basement membrane to the surface. The cells are not arranged properly, these are dearranged. Increase in nuclear cytoplasmic ratio. So here the size of the nucleus is bigger, cytoplasm is also bigger, but here size of the nucleus is small, cytoplasm is more. So the ratio is changed. So increased rate of mitosis. The rate of mitosis is more. Why? Because more and more cells are formed. There is a metaplasia and also hyperplasia. Next one is the increased chromatin content in the nucleus. The nucleus contains more amount of the chromatin. So these are the changes that can be seen in case of hyperplasia, dysplasia and atrophy. All together we are calling it as dysplasia. Metaplasia, hyperplasia and dysplasia all together it is formed. So this condition is called as dysplasia. So these are the type of cellular adaptation. These are for 5 marks question. So along with that, if you draw this structure, it will be useful for you. So the normal cell which is turning onto the atrophy, then hyperplasia, increased cell, hypertrophy, that is size of the cell increases, then metaplasia, conversion, then dysplasia. These are regarding the cellular adaptation. If you have any doubts regarding the topic, you can ask me through the WhatsApp or through the Google Classroom. Okay, thank you so much.